If you had all the money in the world, several gorgeous ultra-luxurious houses, dozens of lavish cars, and anything you can imagine, wouldn't you spend a bit on something outrageous? These 12 billionaires had the same query, and it's pretty obvious what their answer was. So now, thanks to their impulsive behavior, we have at least 12 extremely juicy stories to tell you. So get your popcorn ready, and let's go. Number 12. Steve Cohen's 14-foot preserved shark. I can understand when a billionaire gives $8 million for a piece of art. However, I'm not such a huge fan when they spent it on what is essentially animal cruelty. Unfortunately, New York Mets owner Steve Cohen did just that in 2004. He bought the pretentiously named The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living, Damien Hirst's so-called art piece, which is essentially a shark dumped in chemicals for the awe of people. Charles Saatchi first commissioned the art piece in 1991 and funded it with $50,000. Hirst was free to do whatever he wanted, so he decided to get a tiger shark and pump it full of formaldehyde. What an artist. The initial specimen, however, started to decay, and Hirst offered to kill another tiger shark and replace the decaying one. Saatchi, thankfully, refused. Finally, in 2004, when Cohen negotiated the shark, Hirst found another opening to quench his thirst for shark blood. He offered to replace the specimen with a fresh one, and the billionaire, who thinks a dead fish is art, even agreed to pay. So today, the New York Mets owner has a pickled shark in an aquarium. That's not even the original. At least it doesn't stink like the Mets. 11. Prince Hammad's island signature. What would you do if you had 20 billion in your bank account? 400 vintage luxury cars, yachts, private jets, private islands, and everything a normal person could only dream of. Sheikh Hammad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan decided that if he had everything, he might as well tag it. One would think, what's so extravagant in putting your name on a private jet or a yacht? Well, the Sheikh went a step further. He put his name on his private island of Al-Futaizi. Hammad commissioned a network of channels that spelled his name in Latin and could be seen from space. Each letter was 1,600 feet long, and the canals were 144 feet wide. The project was estimated to have cost $20 million. Despite the pricey endeavor, the project was abandoned in 2012, and the channels were filled with sand. Number 10. Sultan of Brunei. $24,000 haircut. Being the Sultan of Brunei and having $28 billion to your name certainly grants you some privileges. However, a bit more surprising are the privileges that your barber gets as well. Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah is well known for his extravagant and luxurious lifestyle. However, he even went a bit overboard when he paid $24,000 for a haircut in 2008. To this day, that's the priciest haircut ever done in the entire world. What drew the price up was the private jet he sent to pick up the barber. For 16 years, he had been using the services of a small British barbershop located in central London. The barbers had to fly every 3 to 4 weeks and typically get a first-class seat for the 7,000-mile flight. Together with the royal treatment in Brunei, the price came up to around $9,000. Number 9. William Koch's Billy the Kid photo. The tintype, taken in 1880, was confirmed to have the image of the famous American outlaw in 2011 and instantly became the most sought-after image in the world. The prized possession was found by a North Carolina lawyer who bought it for $10 from a local flea market. At this point, he went to Arizona State University, where the identity of Billy the Kid was confirmed. This grabbed the attention of all Wild West artifact collectors who desperately wanted to get their hands on the only existing photo of the charming bandit. The one who got it was William Koch, who paid the staggering $2.3 million for the tintype. Spare change for the $1.1 billion worth oil tycoon. Recently, a second photo of the famous American outlaw has surfaced. This time, the picture was bought from a thrift store for $2. The owner, who managed to confirm the authenticity of his picture, is willing to sell it for no less than $5 million. So if you're a Wild West enthusiast, now is the time to get your horse and rob a few banks in Texas. Number 8. Donald Trump's golden bathroom in a private jet. We all know how level-headed, well-mannered, and absolutely selfless the former President Donald Trump is. So it should surprise you to find out the billionaire real estate tycoon actually owns a $100 million private jet. The guy with a poodle on his head has spared no expense in decorating his to-go transport. For starters, it has the Donald's name signed on the plane's exterior. It can accommodate up to 43 passengers in an ultra-luxurious setting, as the plane has 18 executive-class seats, mahogany cabinets, champagne-colored leather seats, and so much gold. On Trump Force One, every metal component is either gold-covered or made of solid gold. Everything from the decorations to the light sockets and even the seatbelt buckles are plastered with gold. However, what really captures the eye is the solid gold bath fixture. A 24-karat gold sink and toilet are definitely something you don't see every day. But can you imagine the former president taking a dump any other way? I certainly can't, mainly because I avoid visualizing other people's bowel movements, but still. Number 7. Leonardo da Vinci Manuscript. It's high time to put something that's actually useful on this list. Leonardo da Vinci's manuscript is one of the most important pieces of literature in the entire world. Without a doubt, it deserves a spot in a major museum in Italy, Britain, or even America. Alas, the journal of the famous Italian inventor and artist is a private property. At least it's owned by another genius, Bill Gates. The Microsoft owner got his hands on the prized manuscript in 1994 for the mind-blowing sum of $30.8 million. Known as the Codex Leicester, named after the British Earl who owned the book for 250 years. The journal consists of original Da Vinci hand notes, mainly concerning his study of water. The scripture is written in the famous Da Vinci's mirror writing, and it has around 360 illustrations. All of this makes the book far more valuable today. Experts estimate that if Gates decides to sell the manuscript today, he could easily start the auction at $130 million. Now that's what I call an investment. Number 6. The Batmobile. There is a fine line between being a fan and being obsessed. Rick Champagne obviously has no idea what I'm talking about, just like you have no idea who Rick Champagne is. The guy named after the fancy drink is an unremarkable executive at a logistics company. Well, he was unremarkable until he bought the original 1966 Batmobile for $4.6 million. In 2013, the original creator of the Batmobile for the 1966 series starring Adam West, George Barris, decided to put it into an auction. He had the one-of-a-kind Ford Futura, which he later made into the iconic car since 1955, when he bought it from Ford for just $1. The automobile giant designed the 6.0-liter V8 1954 model specifically for the 1955 Chicago Auto Show. They invested over $250,000, which, adjusted to today's money, is around $2.4 million. The reason they got rid of the car so cheap and so fast was it couldn't be driven. Its brakes hardly worked, and it was entirely uncomfortable. Holy waste of money, Batman! Who would have thought that this piece of junk would be worth more than $4.6 million? Number 5. James Cameron's Submarine. Over the years, James Cameron has proven that he knows how to make money, being the director behind some of the best box office successes in cinema history. The Canadian-born who gave us Titanic definitely deserves his hard-earned money, and he surely knows how to spend them. During his documentary years, Cameron was devoted to the idea of going where no one had ever gone before, the Mariana Trench. Of course, getting 7 miles beneath the ocean is anything but easy, but Cameron was never one to shy away from a challenge. the deepest place on Earth has never been much of a tourist spot, being in the middle of nowhere and with pressure levels no one could survive. Even the fact that by this moment there weren't any submarines capable of withstanding that pressure was not a good enough reason for Cameron to give up. Instead, he paid the staggering $10 million to Australian company Acheron Project Thai to create the one-of-a-kind vessel. On the 26th of March 2012, Cameron made a solo attempt at reaching the Mariana Trench with his deep-sea Challenger submarine. And thankfully, he succeeded. It took him 2 hours and 37 minutes to reach the bottom of the world. One could only marvel at his tenacity. In 2015, the boat was donated to Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, where it remains to this day. Number 4. Larry Ellison, Hawaii Island. The American businessman and co-founder of Oracle, who has an insignificant amount of $113 billion in his bank account, decided that having an ultra-luxurious house in Hawaii was not enough. So he decided to buy a whole island. Lanai is the smallest inhabited island in Hawaii. In 2015, Larry bought 98% of the island for the spare change of $300 million. There are private jets that cost more, after all. And this is 87,000 acres of land. After the purchase, Ellison invested another $200 million in infrastructure and created one truly luxurious, high-end resort. Larry is determined to transform Lanai into the first economically sustainable green community. With $113 billion behind his back, this is undoubtedly achievable. Number 3. Eclipse Yacht. When the time comes for you to buy your first yacht, believe me, you wouldn't want anything below $500 million. That's how much Eclipse, Roman Abramovich's yacht, actually costs. The Eclipse Yacht is one genuine piece of engineering genius. With its sheer size, breathtaking design, and ultra-luxurious setting, it's no wonder many believe the yacht actually costs $1.5 billion. That, however, is just a myth. The yacht has everything you could imagine. A beach club with several hot tubs, 2 swimming pools, several jacuzzis, a private spa center, a gym, and a nightclub. The massive vessel can accommodate up to 36 guests, who, without a doubt, will be treated like kings, or even like Putin. No expenses were spared in decorating this floating palace. Designer furniture, modern decoration, and all kinds of technology beautify the interior. There are 11 suites on board, and all of them give one genuinely classy vibe. To top it all off, each one is equipped with a 6-foot-long TV screen, on which you can hopefully watch something other than Putin's propaganda. This extravagant boat has 2 helipads, so if you decide to rent it for the tiny fee of $2 million per week, you might use it to reach the yacht without having to drive to the port. Number 2. Prince Al-Waleed's Airbus A380. What would this list be without adding the most expensive plane ever produced? Kind of. The Airbus A380 was commissioned and paid for by Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal of Saudi Arabia. The family that has $1.5 trillion probably don't mind that much when Talal chose to order a private jet that cost $600 million, only to decide against it before it was finished. Had it been finished though, it would have been the biggest and most luxurious plane in the world. The prince had some pretty specific design requirements, like having a spacious lounge area decorated in royal red colors, a Turkish bath with solid gold fixtures, a concert hall, a private garage, and even a stable for transporting camels and horses. The jet has 3 floors, and since climbing stairs is for commoners, the prince uses his ultra-luxurious glass elevator. Religion has a huge impact on Saudi culture. Naturally, the prince has commissioned one truly unique prayer room, where the prayer mat automatically points to Mecca, no matter where the plane is on Earth. Talal can probably find a reason or two to thank Allah personally. The creme de la creme on this private jet that never came to be would have been the throne. Yes, a genuine throne in the middle of the plane. That's how you rule a country, or at least a plane. Number 1. Antilia, the $2.6 billion home. There is no place like home, especially if you live in an ultra-luxurious mansion with lavish design, exquisite furniture, and amenities to keep you occupied for weeks. Naturally, some mega mansions cost more than others, but none as much as Antilia, the world's most expensive home. The Mumbai private skyscraper mansion is owned by India's richest man, Mukesh Ambani, who paid $2.6 billion to build it. The megastructure is 568 feet high and is equivalent to a 60-story building. Still, due to higher ceilings, the residence has a measly 27 floors. One would be forgiven for thinking that an enormous family occupies this mansion, but that's not the case at all. The entire building is accommodating only 6 family members and their many servants, of course. Naturally, not all floors are designed for living space. For example, the first 6 floors of the mansion are one truly massive garage, where 168 cars can find a parking spot. In contrast, the top 6 floors are the private residences of the family members, a stunning view of the whole Mumbai metropolitan, in addition to the beautiful Indian Ocean, is just outside the window. The inside of the home is simply marvelous. The lavish decoration that promotes Indian culture from every corner could easily pass for the Hindu heaven. Marble floors, pearl walls, handmade furniture, and countless pieces of art hanging from the walls. Each living space is uniquely designed and gorgeously decorated with gold, crystal, silver, and other precious metals. Naturally, the home has all the amenities a high-class mega mansion deserves: a fitness center, a ballroom, a spa center, and of course, a private cinema, where the owners can watch all the Bollywood movies they want. These were the 12 most extravagant and expensive purchases billionaires bought on a whim. What's the strangest thing that you wasted money on? Let me know in the comments below.